Hello and welcome to another episode of Prepare for Landon. My guest in this episode is a recently new friend of mine. This is probably I think our second conversation ever, but I'm referring to none other than the Ryan Halvaks of the band Blindwolf. We talk all about the band, we talk about his podcast, we dive into a little bit about drug addiction and dealing with that, and then I destroy him with hot sauce. But it's a lengthy conversation, about 2 hours, so I think I might do it into parts. But either way, enjoy the episode.
Wow, dude!
I don't know, man.
Crazy, dude. Like,
I let you in my house.
what are we talking about? What?
This is the Prepare for Landon podcast with your host, Joshua Landon. Buckle up.
I'll just see how things go. But hey, man, how you doing?
What's up?
Yeah, we're starting. We're good.
I already forgot everything we said we weren't going to talk about
Cool.
on the way over here.
I was gonna ask you, what was the thing that we were talking about that we weren't we're gonna wait for?
What
we were
was
talking about
I was going to say... I'm trying to think. What were we talking about? Oh, well, I was going to... Well, I think it had something to do with Zach, 'cause we were talking about Zach, and I guess that's how we, really officially met and connected, was through Zach.
Yeah, because
You were saying I didn't meet you at Chain that one time, but I know
I don't think we met. But even if we did, a month or so ago, whenever you played at FTG,
Yeah.
that was our first conversation.
Conversation.
So
yeah.
this is our second conversation ever,
Literally.
technically.
So,
Well, I mean,
technically.
I guess if we count getting food just prior, but I mean, either way.
But that conversation was all us just trying not to say things that were important for the podcast.
Yeah,
Just
we're
dancing
just
around anything
bullshitting
we
and
actually
talking
wanted to
and whatnot.
talk about. What else? There's four things that we kept being like, what do we not say right now?
1 second. What happened here?
What happened?
Oh
What'd
no,
you
we're
fuck
still
up?
good. I'm just crazy.
Okay.
We're still recording. I'm just dumb. It's fine.
Where do you want to start?
So
So when I was 4 years old, that's where it all started.
So I was never a fan. Well, I wouldn't say I wasn't a fan. I just didn't ever get into because when I was younger, I never got into going to shows.
hmm
I didn't have a car. I didn't have I guess friends that would drive out to shows like that.
You lived
in
in
a
the middle
sense.
of fucking nowhere where
I-
there was no shows near you.
I did.
It's a
Yeah.
mish to every show. I couldn't imagine that because for me, where I grew up, it's there are shows everywhere. And it was just easy. I just
Yeah.
a little trip up the freeway. So
Well, the closest local shows that I knew of were Chain, and that's where you guys would play a lot.
yeah, you
Um,
know what's crazy? The first show I ever played was at Chain Reaction,
really?
and it was the first show I ever played at Chain Reaction. It wasn't sold out, but there's for sure a couple hundred people there, and I was a freshman in high school. So I was free. I was we were horrible.
I was playing churches when I was a freshman. in
Dude,
high
yeah,
school.
dude, yeah, dude, yeah. I was fucking screaming, probably fucking my vocals up really bad because I didn't know what I was doing.
Mhm. Do you know what you're doing now?
I mean, I'm fine,
No.
so I think so. But if anybody's like, "How do you do that?" I go, "I don't know, but I know I'm doing it correctly."
Same.
I'm just I don't know how, but it works. I haven't, But yeah, the first and then the second show I ever played was at Chain, also with fucking Carnifex headlining,
God.
and we ended up somehow so
With On the Shoulders.
No, so it was pre on the shoulder, but it was the only original members in that band that was in On the Shoulders. I guess was really towards the end of it was just Cameron, the drummer,
Okay.
because we it started this band when we were freshmen called After the Arson. Sick as fuck. And then and then our second show was with Carnifex. But the only reason we got that second show was so we got the first show through there's a band that was also some metalcore band called Arias that played. They were they went to some of them went to our high school, but they were seniors and they had somehow heard of us. Don't know how, and we thought that was so cool. And then I remember we got the courage to go up to them and finally ask them. We're like, "Hey guys, can you get us on a show?" Because we didn't know what the fuck to do. We were 14, 15, and they're like, "Yeah." And they're like, "You guys want to play Chain Reaction?" And we were like, "Well," and I had never even been to Chain, so I just
heard of it?
I just heard of it. I just had heard of it. I knew
Did you know it was iconic in a sense?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. I knew it was It's weird. I got into like metalcore and shit at a very young age because of my brother. Because he doesn't listen to that shit at all anymore. But like my brother, I keep getting sidetracked. Let me finish this. Then I'll get into that.
Fine,
But so they're like, oh yeah, we're playing Chain, and I knew what Chain was, and I knew it was like very iconic, and I was like, what the fuck, this is crazy. Then we had to do like pre-sale and stuff. But the guy that did you ever work with Chris from Skyward Productions?
No.
Okay, he was one of the coolest promoter dudes ever.
I wish I worked with him.
Dude, yeah, right? Yeah, seriously. Oh, coolest fucking
I wish
dude.
I fucking worked
dude,
with him.
coolest fucking dude ever. This is how cool he was. He knew that like we were like young, so we didn't have cars in the beginning. He would drive to my house and like deliver the pre-sale to me. I mean, but then again, we were selling tickets and making him money, so of course he's gonna fucking do it. But at the time, so yeah, we get that show. We get the tickets from that promoter or whatever, and we're like, okay, we have to sell these tickets. Obviously, like all of our friends and shit want to go from high school. Maybe three out of all the friends that we brought actually listened to like that type of music. The rest of them were just like excited that he gave us 60 tickets. We only needed to sell 40, but we just gave them all because we didn't know how it worked. We didn't know we should be getting paid or anything. We didn't know anything. So we gave him all the money for all 60 tickets. So he was like, holy shit. Like, he's like, you guys want to play?
Rich.
Yeah. He was like, you guys want to play here next month for another? And we're like, yeah, sure.
Want to keep playing?
Yeah.
Please?
Literally. Because we were selling tickets. So then we played our second show was with fucking Carnifex.
Dang.
We sold again all 60 tickets, and so he's like, all right, I'm gonna put you guys the third slot. So we were right in the dude, and that show was sold out. So the second time I ever played Chain, it was sold out, and I was fucking 15 years old, dude.
Dang.
When we were so bad, but the only reason we were there is just because we were able to bring all of our fucking friends to the show, or at least sell the tickets. I mean, he didn't care about if they fucking came as long as we gave him money. You know, he's gonna keep booking us. But yeah, but anyways.
That's pretty sick, though.
So, yeah, that was fun. But what I was going to say before that was, I knew about Chain because I have an older brother, and he kind of got me in, like, at least got me into start finding, like, heavier music and stuff. The first, like, I guess, heavy-ish album I ever really, like, listened to was Artist in the Ambulance from Thrice. So I just remember him I remember him like literally bringing home the physical CD because people bought CDs back in that time and like brought it.
I still like CDs, man. Like,
yeah,
I like physical copies of things.
If I'm gonna get a physical copy of something though, I feel like I'd want to get it on like vinyl just because it's cooler. But I don't even have a vinyl player though. I just think they look cool. It's just like I know that they're cool. I just know that they're cooler.
Do now, so like I'll get records now, but like. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I don't even have a vinyl player, but like, and even if I fucking got a vinyl player, I probably wouldn't fucking play that shit on there. Listen to my headphones. I don't know. Like,
I'll just go to Spotify on my phone.
I'm just gonna collect them or something. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I remember him bringing that home, and then one of like the first like Under Oath albums before fucking They're Only Chasing Safety, whatever that with what was his name, Dallas
Taylor.
Yeah, it was with him. And yeah, and like those were like the first two, and then I found like As It Lay Dying and shit.
Ooh.
And like, do you remember It Dies Today?
I don't actually.
They were like my shit. They're like they put an album in like 2004 that I think is still like, I mean it's outdated as fuck, but at the time
and they're not a band anymore.
Yeah, not a band at all anymore. But they were pretty big at one point, and then like I found like Stick to Your Guns through like my like dad's boss's son. Went to high school with some of the original members of Stick to Your Guns, and he was like cool with them. And like he knew that I was listening to like heavy music because he was like my brother's age, and he's like, you should check them out. And then like that's how I found out about Chain, because then it was like right about that time is when like YouTube became a thing.
Yeah.
And I remember then searching Stick to Your Guns on there, and they had like a music video of them playing at Chain. And I was like, what the fuck is this place?
Yeah.
And then I did more research on that, and I was like, oh, okay, apparently this place is like popular or whatever.
It's the place.
It's the place. Yeah. It's the fucking place. Which is crazy that we've got to play at like the place.
Dude, like my you remember Redeem Revive?
Yeah.
My old band, we played Chain so much that we like would play other places, and at least our Aldo, the other vocalist, like we would be somewhere else, and he'd be like, "What's up, Chamber? Yeah, fuck.
She's like, fuck, I'm not there right now. Whoops."
Like in another state, maybe, and be like, "What's up, Chamber? Oh, fuck,
dude, yeah." But at the same time, too, it's like we don't even realize like how like lucky we are to like be playing that venue. Like I feel like every touring band I see going through there, if it's their first time playing there, I saw fucking Alpha Wolf there on that tour with like with. Were you there?
No,
Dude, yeah. So I went.
I haven't seen Alpha Wolf live, and they're fucking great.
So good. It was that tour with like Monster Flames and Polaris.
Yeah. Oh, Polaris. Is good,
yeah.
man.
So it was that tour. And like that was the first time playing Chain, and it's like every band.
You opened for that tour?
I wish. That was fucking so sick, dude. You know, I feel like that'd be like Conflict too, Blind Wolf, Alpha Wolf. I don't know.
Oh.
Like, you know, they probably wouldn't give a fuck. But
Yeah, I get you.
yeah, but no, it was their first time playing there, and literally they were like, we wanted to play. And it was the last day of the tour, I'm pretty sure too. And they were like, we've been waiting this whole tour to play here. And he was like, I literally have watched videos of bands that I listen to playing this stage, and like to be here is crazy,
dude. Yeah,
but for me it's like, oh, this is like a 20-minute drive from my house.
Like, yeah, like especially for you, like it's like, oh, this is the local venue.
Yeah,
but like that, it is iconic. It's crazy how iconic Chain Reaction is. Like so many fucking
everybody, dude.
Everybody.
If you have
especially back in the day too, like bands like fucking Sleeping with Sirens and like Ice Nine Kill, like they don't fucking play Chain anymore.
Sleeping with Sirens actually played with Chain like a few weeks ago. I feel.
Really?
Yeah, it was like just some like a one-off.
Was it an acoustic show? I think they did an acoustic tour.
It was no. I don't. I saw it.
They played.
Yeah, they played. Like they headlined. Yeah, it was like a couple weeks ago. It was random, but yeah. But I mean, everyone started there, which is crazy.
Dude, yeah, it's just a great venue. Like it's small, which like, yeah, it's fine. But like for me, I love those shows.
Yeah,
I love small shows.
Yeah, it's fucking way better.
It's so fucking like, if I can be on a show that's like on the floor, even if I get to a point where I have the opportunity to play in front of like 1,000 people, but it's on the floor. Ooh,
yeah, that'd be
sick.
That'd be scary. I feel like I'd just get like beat up on accident.
A tidal wave of people.
Somebody would just forget that like I'm in the band and then crowd mosh on me, and then like that would suck. But no, yeah, I get you.
Yeah,
no,
yeah, small shows are just the shit.
But small shows in shitty venues are not the shit. Like, where was it?
Like what? Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Actually, the venue itself wasn't bad, but the sound was horrible. I forget what it's called. We played there, I don't know, it was like back in like July or something like that. That venue, it's like underground in like Santa Ana. It's called like...
In Santa Ana, I've only played at Malone's, which is now Stages.
Yeah. It's in like downtown Santa Ana. Sound there was just really bad. We played some like... Dude, I think... What's up?
Oh, keep talking.
You're good. Actually, I gotta grab another beer too. Beer break.
What do you want?
Oh, service. What do you have again?
I got Modelo 805, Cali Premium.
I'll just do 805s, fine. I have a bottle opener, unless you have one.
I got you.
You're gonna open it with your butthole?
I could open it with my butthole.
That'd be either really sick or really painful.
Shout out to Aldo.
Shout out Aldo.
He can open a
bottle with his butthole?
He can. Well, he probably can. He can open a fucking bottle with just about anything that I know of. So
I see people do it with lighters,
phones.
Dude, I think actually Eddie can do it with his fucking teeth.
Nope.
I
don't like that.
Yeah, he has a screw loose in his fucking head. 100%.
I would really like to meet them because I listen to you guys all the time.
Hell yeah, dude. But, yeah, they're fucking yeah. Actually, yeah. I think that was actually one of the things that reminded me that we were gonna save was, I guess, the origin story of meeting them. Because
you didn't grow up with them? I thought you did.
I did. Well, technically, so Eddie and Sam have known each other since like first grade or some shit like that, and then I met both of them in middle school, hence junior high hot box. Just because, I don't smoke weed anymore, but we used to at one point. We used to all smoke weed.
I want to say, like, do you know how? Like, at least I feel how crazy it is to still be in contact with people that you've known that long.
There's actually
in middle school, because like I have people that I am in contact with from elementary school, but like even the contact that we have is not much at all. But
Yeah.
you guys are like literally doing weekly podcast episodes together,
Yeah.
so you're still in contact even from middle school, and that's dang,
Dude,
like
the thing that
people don't fucking hang out
yeah,
after high school.
a lot of people, I know, a lot of people don't have that, and like, I feel like I've learned that over just like the past, like, I mean, throughout like my 20s, I kind of started realizing that, but like, I feel like then the newer people I meet, they're always just like, how are you still friends with people from like second grade and shit?
Crazy,
dude. The internet, bro. It like even as evil as that motherfucker is, it's like, bro, it is great, but it's also like our biggest downfall at like the same fucking time.
It's like you gotta. It's a very great tool as far as learning and keeping in contact with people that you don't like live in proximity to, and but like you gotta manage your time, like. If you're just always on your phone, always on social media, like
I'm not always on my phone.
You're probably
my biggest thing is, I mean, it's not the worst thing ever, but like I said, when I'm not working or I'm just at home, like on my Discord, just with like we hang out in Discord, like we just get like
fine.
Like, do you use Discord?
I don't.
Dude, Discord's it's got me reconnected with so many of my friends that like I hadn't, especially through like the pandemic, because like, everyone shut down, everyone was like at home. So like for a lot of people, there's like Zoom and whatever like blew up, but like Discord and like gaming and shit like that, because I didn't really play video games at all until like really like a year and a half ago, because like I'll get into that in a second, but like Discord, I know I got a lot, but Discord, like I got it because like Sam or somebody told me to get it. I don't remember. But he games a lot. He's been gaming for a while, but everyone uses it mainly like for gaming. But like we'll just go in there and like, because how it works is there's like different like servers, I guess. Well, there are servers, and then there's like voice chat rooms, and you can see all your friends that whatever room they're in. It's like an open room. You can just hop in and you can like share your screen, so people are like, oh, check this video out, and like fucking and like whatever. And so it's like literally we'll just be hanging out in there. Like there's a lot of times I'll hop in there and there'll be like 8 of us in there. None of us are saying shit to each other. And then after like 15 minutes of silence, someone's like, yeah, yo, check out this fucking video of this shark. And we're like, yo, pull it up. And we'll just watch it. We'll be like, sick. And then we just each go back to doing like whatever the fuck we were doing. But it's like total like nerd shit. But like, I don't know. It's brought me back to like, it's got me a lot closer with a lot of people that I didn't realize like I'd like hadn't talked to in like a lot in like years, which is nice.
That's good for like what the internet is. I don't like. I would like to. I've had like friends hit me up and like, oh, hop on the Discord or whatever, but I've never done it.
Dude, it's. I mean, it makes more sense too. Like if you are gaming, because that's kind of where it started with, was like just.
And I'm not gaming.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Like...
Oh, good, dude. That shit started taking.
I'm only living my life and then doing music,
dude.
So. But I've had like musician friends hit me up and be like, "Hey, hop on the Discord, like, and do this." And
that's actually how I edit the podcast with Sam, because
really?
Sam edits the podcast like with Premiere on his PC, but he just shares his screen, and we just like it's really just him editing. I'm just really just sitting there, and I'll be like, "Hey, like it's really mainly for clips. Really, it's just us sitting there like watching it, making sure like everything flows and works." But like when we make clips, like I'll be like, "Hey, like we should use this for a clip." He'll cut out the section.
So do you guys listen to the whole episode together?
Yes, only because so once we started doing it with Billy, we have a second camera.
Yes.
And so how Sam edits it is he has both cameras up, and like do you use Premiere, or what do you use when you like edit?
I just use iMovie.
I mean, whatever. It's probably the similar thing, but
I have Premiere. But
yeah. I mean, he uses Premiere just because it's PC. So,
yeah.
But he has both Billy's video and our video, and it's like we don't have Billy in it the whole time. It's just like certain parts. So it's like we're really just watching it to like know, and we'll just like watch it, and then be like, all right, we can cut this chunk of Billy out, and then like once he starts talking, we'll be like, okay, we got to save this, so like we like save that, and then like we'll keep. It's really just to make sure Billy's in there for his parts essentially, and to make sure everything lines up, and then it's just making the clips. But yeah, we watch it once we're done, like pretty much, and then we make the clips. And literally, like I said, he just pulls it up on Discord, and I just sit there. I'm like, it would be funny if we did this, and that, or like we say this at this moment, and like the zooms in at this part, or whatever the fuck. And so I like making clips with him is fun because we have like both the same brain for it, and we both have like the same stupid humor and shit. And,
I got you.
but so I met them in middle school. Sam and Eddie knew each other in like first grade or whatever, and then and it just kind of went from there. And then we had talked about doing a podcast for years and like just never got around to it. And then through the pandemic, it was it's almost been a year since we've been doing it now. Well, it'll be a year in like March, so I guess it's not almost a year. But we then were just like on Discord gaming one day, me and Sam, and we're just like, fuck it, should we like just record an episode of the podcast, like jokingly? And he's like, yep. He's like, turn your camera on. And I was like, what? And he's like, turn your camera on. And I turned it on, and he was just like, I'm recording. Like, what's up?
Because he was doing
he streams.
Yeah, he streams. Does he stream like Big Brother stuff? I don't know what he's doing with
he does like he's a fucking huge Big Brother fan, and like he likes like Survivor, Big
That's
Brother.
What I've gathered.
That sort of thing. And he threw his then he streams
so
too.
It is Big Brother the show.
But it's like his own version that he made. Because he only does it in one day. Because Big Brother's over like a month if you actually watch the show.
But is he just talking about the show, or is
he has games that you like in like things, but it's all via Discord or like Zoom, whatever you want to look at it.
So he makes games.
Like some of them will be literally like, it'll be like dumb shit. Like he'll have like a mason jar filled with M&Ms, and he'll be like, you guys got to guess how many are in here. Whoever's the closest wins. Because I don't know if do you know how Big Brother works at all? For win, it's not just like, oh, you win.
I've never seen Big Brother and M&Ms.
Dude, it's so fuck. If he was here, he could explain it way better.
That's like because like if it's like a podcast talking about Big Brother the show, I understand.
No, he's actually.
What is he doing?
He does like challenges with the other people because there's like you have to have 12 people playing. So like I did it the last time he did
12 like actual people, not in the show.
Yeah, actual people.
Okay.
And like he'll and then he has them all like everyone's cameras on, and you gotta like take a day to do this, like or at least if you stay until the end, because everyone just gets eliminated one by one. And like I got second place when I did it the most recent time. It took 9 hours to do the whole game. Yeah, because it takes a while. And he does all sorts of like there's the whole. One of the game things you do is that, and like then if you win that, you win head of household, which means you're not up for like eviction for that round. So then after you win head of household, you get to choose who's up for eviction. Then those people play a game to like battle it out to get.
Do you think that he would come on here?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
I think the hardest part would be getting him to fucking come out here, is because he's just fucking doesn't. He's the type.
I kind of
he's the type of dude. He's the type of dude. He's just like, why would I?
Why would I do that?
He's like, I live with my. He's like, I live with my wife, which is like my best friend, which is fine. He's like, why would I want to go fucking anywhere? What?
Fucking same. Like,
yeah,
we in our room too. Like we don't have to leave. Like we have a fridge and like everything. We don't have to leave our room.
Which also too, I'm not talking shit on. That's great.
Yeah,
and like I get it, and that's totally fine. But it's like he's literally in this point. He's just kind of like, bro. Like he's like, I don't need to do anything anymore.
Why leave?
Yeah.
Why leave?
He's like, why go do anything?
Why?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
But hey, Sam, if you want to talk to me, I would love to talk to you, even if it's for like 30 minutes.
Dude,
I know. Just hang out.
I could convince him to do it.
Yeah, you gotta come.
Yeah,
I feel like you gotta come.
You know what?
I feel like you and Sam and Eddie have to come. If Sam comes, Eddie's got to come, and we just got to have a whole thing about it. Like,
honestly, Eddie would be the hardest one to convince. Out of all of it. Yeah, as much shit as we.
Eddie,
yeah,
come out.
No, I think Eddie would be more difficult to convince because Eddie is busy. With the randomest shit. Sam has no excuse, but he just is like, fuck what, I don't get. But Eddie, I'll give him like, he has excuses, but it's like I never know with what exactly. He's just like, I gotta do this thing for work and this and that. So I'm like, okay.
Sam, Eddie, like I get it. I'm busy too. If you want to just hang out and have a good time with some bros, I'm here for you, man.
Yeah. They'll probably come to the Phineas show, so you can like meet them there. I know Sam's gonna, because we play. Have you ever heard of the video game Fall Guys? Or so you've seen Sam post the clips of that?
I've heard about Sam talking about it.
Yeah. So we play Fall Guys sometimes with Sean from the vocalist of Phineas, because he streams. And like whenever, And it just became this thing because whenever I'd be like, hey, Sam, do you want to play? Whenever Sam would join like Sean's lobby that like he would create on like his stream, because then like Sean has his whole like community of people that like follow him through his stream that will play like with him, and then we'll all get on Discord and like whatever. Every time Sam comes in, literally everyone's like, fuck, dude, because Sam's so it's the dumbest game. It's a game for like a fucking child, but he's so good at it, and he's so fucking, and he's so toxic with it. He's just like, so he just come, and then he just comes in, he's like, nah, dude, like I'm not even like that, and he just fucks everyone up. And so like Sam just has this whole thing with like, it's just funny, like Sean, who I know through music, who's in Phineas, which is a great band, is just like hates playing a video game with like one of my friends, and like that's how they know each other, is like through that. And like Sam's like, no, I'm gonna come to the show just so I could talk shit on Sean. Like,
hell,
I'm gonna,
yeah, dude. That's what I like, that shit.
Yeah. But
assert dominance.
No, yeah, sure. no, yeah. So they'll be at that show for sure. But yeah, dude, fucking. But yeah, doing the podcast is fun with them, and we've known each other for fucking ever, and we just have good stories and good times, and I don't know. We all have the same dark humor and shit like that too.
Oh yeah.
We all like fucked up shit. At least I do. I don't know.
Yeah, you for sure do. Yeah. Yeah.
Dude.
We'll touch back on the podcast, but I want to get into, because I was never a fan necessarily. Like, I didn't know show, because like I didn't go to Chain until really like when I was older, I guess. Yeah. Like, so I didn't know bands that were like playing at Chain for quite a few years, and like you were one of those bands, On the Shoulders of Atlas. So like, where did that kind of start, and like where did that kind of transition as far as like that being the end of On the Shoulders of Atlas, and like what you went into life after that? Like what happened? What went?
So I mean, do you want to get like from the well, I mean, at the beginning it doesn't really matter. We just kind
of
tell. Well, we all essentially met in high school for the most part.
Like, was Minju in On the Shoulders?
Yeah, yes, and Minju and he went to high school with us. Minju's 2 years younger than me, Cameron, our drummer, and then Jordy. I don't know if you remember Jordy at all. He was the other guitar player.
He's not the guy you have now, Kush?
No, yeah. Jordy's the guy that got married like
no
a
idea.
month ago. Yeah. He was the other guitar player On Their Shoulders. And then it was Minju. Minju went to high school with us. Minju is younger than us. But we had another guy that also went to our high school who was like a genius. Like genius. And when I say genius, like he went to Stanford, dropped out of Stanford because he was like, I'm way smarter than this, and started his own thing. And he's like,
I'm better than this shit.
Literally. And then he's like, I don't need it. And he's like now like in the tech world and like does that shit. And he didn't need Stanford.
Yeah.
So, but when he went to Stanford, we're like, okay, who are we gonna get? And like it was literally just like, oh, what about that like sophomore kid, or what about that one kid that was like 2 years younger than us that would put up like Avenged Sevenfold covers on YouTube. And like he went to high school with us, and like Cameron knew him through drumline because he did drumline, blah 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 blah. Minju joined the band, but then Minju had shoes to fill because the guy that went to Stanford was kind of writing everything for us. And so then he joins this band, and we're like, all right, cool, like this guy's gone, you shred, you write everything. And he'd never been in a band in his life, and he was like, oh fuck. But then it worked out. Him and Cameron did a really good job, like like they pretty much wrote everything for On the Shoulders of Atlas. And then whatever, we put out like our full length album, and then like it was going good, and things were on like the up and up, and like touring started happening more, and like that was cool. And then it was like, it kind of was just like we came back from like our only one like big tour. We did like a lot of like just little weekenders and little things, but like the one like legit tour that we did, we came back from, and we had another one lined up. Then that just like fell through. Just like I don't know what happened. It just didn't happen. And then after that, we were just kind of playing shows here and there. And then it was our other guitar player. Well, actually, it started with Cameron, because Cameron works at a studio. That's where we record a lot of our demo shit now with like Blindwolf.
With Cameron?
With Cameron,
okay.
our old drummer, original On the Shoulders drummer. So we still talk and see him like all the time. He was working at like a studio doing like being like an engineer and shit like that. He was actually like making money doing music. And he just kind of was like, he just kind of one day was like, hey man, like I'm actually making money. I'm going to take this kind of studio stuff more serious. He's like, I think that like, you know, he's like, I'll keep doing On the Shoulders until you find a new drummer. He's like, but like, you guys need to find a new drummer. Like,
Oh yeah.
and, and we were like, fuck, okay. And then like, but then Jordy, the other guitar player, he kind of then went into the group text or whatever. And he's like, he went to college. He got a really good big boy job out of college. He has a fucking, like, him and his wife are killing it right now. Like, I fucking love that dude. And his wife's awesome. They're killing it. So it made sense. He was like, honestly, touring's fun and everything. The band's fun. He's like, but like, I make really good money at my job. And like, if anything serious were to ever happen with the band, he's like, to be real, like, I'm not going to choose the band over like the money I'm making in my career.
Yeah.
He's like, now that Cameron's bringing this up, he's like, it's honestly, it's only fair. Like, if I be honest with you guys. So then that happened. Then at the time too, I just started doing my job as an electrician the year prior to that. And I was like taking that more serious, but like really what was honestly happening with me is, I mean, I'm sure you've heard through the podcast, like I had a drug problem with meth. And like at the time, that's like right towards the end of On the Shoulders, like right when like my meth problem was like just getting like bad. And in the back of my head, I was like, right when Cameron was like, I think I'm going to quit. And then Jordy was like, I think I'm going to quit. In the back of my head, I was like, dude, this is like my out. Like, I was like, cause all I saw in my mind, I was
Out
like,
of the band?
well, it was like, I was like, this is my out for everything to be a clean cut and everything to be like cool. Cause in my head, I was like, if I keep doing this band, I was like, I had no plans of stopping drugs at the time. I was like, I don't want to be the guy that ends this band because of my drug use.
So if the band ended, you're like, okay,
yeah. So like at the time I told them, I was like, oh, I'm taking my electrician job more seriously. And like, that's what I told them at the time. But really I just saw my opportunity where I was like, this isn't going to be my fault. Like these two, like, it's not like I was like, I can blame them. It was more so like, they were like, I'm kind of getting over it. Jordy was like, I'm kind of getting over it. And in my head, I was like, dude, like, cause I was already thinking like it was right when I started using it and it got bad. I just was like, dude, all I was ever thinking was like, I'm going to be the reason this band breaks up. Like, and I just was like, I'm going to be the guy, like, oh, he did drugs and that's why the band ended. And that's all I ever saw in my mind. So that like, once I saw, like, I was like, we can get like a clean end and it like, won't be my fault. I was like, maybe this is like what needs to happen. Cause I knew I didn't have any plans of stopping using drugs at that moment in time for my life. So like,
you saw it as like your way out of being like guilt-free.
I guess in a way, guilt-free, but also too, it was like, yeah, it was guilt-free, and it just like felt like okay. Because then too, Justin Potts. Did you ever meet Justin? He was the last bass player we had.
No,
he also too, like the last year we were On the Shoulders of Alice was a thing. He was going to school at fucking University of Portland, so he was literally flying down for shows. So he was like. Yeah, honestly, like
for a local band too. Fuck,
yeah.
Man,
oh yeah. When we weren't. He was. Yeah, he fucking was. And he just was like, yeah, honestly. So it was all like, literally like all of us was just kind of like, maybe it's time. It just kind of felt like time. And too, like, already in the back of my mind, I was like, maybe it is time. But also too, a big part of it was like, I was like, dude, like. This is I just saw it. I was like, this is good that it's happening this way, because it was like if it was any other, like I never wanted it to be some shitty thing that happened, especially if it had to do anything with my drug use. Like that would have fucking killed me, would have devastated me. So I just was like, it felt like a sign. I was like, maybe this is where like I stop this and I try to figure out this whole problem I have over here, because like I had no intentions of stopping at that point in my life. So I just was like,
no intentions of stopping
the drug use. Yeah.
So like you wanted to keep using.
It's not that I wanted to. It's just it's not like it's.
Well, it's a matter of like you felt like you were going to keep using.
Yeah, man, it's addiction, bro. It makes zero sense. I knew in the back of my head, I was like,
it wasn't like a.
I wanted to stop, but it's like it's just the shit that it's like I almost.
But
couldn't.
You saw your door open and you were like, oh, I can end this. Keep using drugs and it not be on me.
Yes, essentially, yes. It was like, yeah. I was like, I don't want this. I don't want the band to like. I was scared that all I was seeing in my mind the last like year being in the band was like, well, it really wasn't like the last year. It was like the last like 6 months I was in the band is when I started like using and shit. But I just was like, fuck, like if this ends because of me, like I'm gonna fucking hate myself. And so like. Everyone was like, Jordy had his shit, Cameron had his shit going on, Justin, was going to school. Everyone had their reasons of like, hey, maybe we should call it quits. And I was just like, agreed with them. I was like, yeah, maybe we should. as much as I didn't really want to, I just was like, this probably is what I need to do right now. And it's clear it's going to happen regardless because everyone else is already kind of agreeing. Like Minju was really the only one that was like hungry for it still. And he's younger than us.
Yeah.
But then he ended up making Blind Wolf. And then, I ended up like getting off of drugs and stuff. And that's a big reason why I was originally planned to do Blind Wolf in the beginning when Minju started writing everything, like the end of 2019. But like, I just honestly was like still using at that time. And I just was like, I don't think I can commit to this. And I told him it was because of like work and shit. But really, it was just like, I knew I was like, dude, I can't be doing this right now. Because at that point, it was like deep into like I was in deep. So like I was like, I can't do this. And
you said you're an open book.
Yeah.
So you don't mind talking about whatever.
No.
So you were addicted to meth.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember what I have written down is that I think it was in the podcast that you said meth is easier to quit than caffeine.
No, nicotine, 100%. Like
nicotine?
Like right now. Yeah, not caffeine. Maybe caffeine. I don't know if I said caffeine.
Because I think nicotine. I wrote that. That's what I wrote down, but like...
No, it's for sure easier to quit than nicotine, though. Because right now I need this charge, and you don't have a fucking charger, and I'm fucking getting pissed off now.
I'll find a charger for you.
Yeah. Every once in a while, I'm still able to hit this thing with it.
But it was that good for you that like it was easier to quit than nicotine.
100% easier to quit than nicotine.
Really?
All I had to do was leave a shitty ex-girlfriend and I was able to stop doing meth.
That's good. Like I've been in those situations where like an ex it's your whole world in a sense. Like that's what
she was like essentially
your ex is who you are.
Mm-hmm. And she was the one that got me into it. Yeah. Like she was, and I don't blame her. I made the choice in the end, but like she did introduce it to me.
Yeah, but like your relationship with her was your relationship with meth in a sense. So it's like I understand that.
100%.
That's tough, dude.
Yeah. It was crazy, but it was honestly a good learning experience. Like it made me grow the fuck up.
Well, that's good.
Like, like I kind of needed that kick in the ass, I feel like. Like I tell people all the time, it's like the best, worst thing that's ever happened to me.
That's good.
In the sense of like, like I grew up in like a good family, like nothing, like my parents are like upper middle class. Like I had made friends really easily,
Do they know?
Yeah, they know.
Your family knows.
Yeah, my family knows. Yeah, they helped me go to rehab and shit like that.
That's good. I feel like if you're able to now be out of that situation and be able to look at it as like it was the worst to best thing that's ever happened to me,
100%.
I feel like that's a good outlook and mindset to have on a situation that was bad for you.
I wouldn't change anything about it, honestly. Yeah. I really
because now it shaped you into
it shaped me. I honestly
who
feel
you are, what you want out of your life, like what you 100%. Don't want to do too. Like
I was a way bigger piece of shit before using meth. Like honestly, dude, I was a fucking piece of shit. I really was. To fucking girls, to like everything. Girls especially. I was a fucking asshole too. Like when I was before meth, just because like I don't know.
I didn't even take meth, and I've been an asshole.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, maybe that shit comes with age and shit, but like, I really feel like meth just really, it was that kick in the ass I fucking needed because like
it was the thing for you to
because I never had anything in my life that like there's no trauma in my life. There's no like I said, I made friends easily.
Yeah,
I've had a lot of my friends for fucking ever.
I had a good family.
I had a great family.
Yeah,
there was no traumatic shit. Like nobody even in like elementary school came up to me and kicked my handball away and was like loser. Like that shit never got bullied.
Oh, life is great. You know what I want to do? Be a piece of shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, literally. It was like everything was like everything was just up for me.
Yeah.
And like and when that happens to somebody, it's like you kind of end up being like not the best person just because like you need to go through that sort of shit.
Yeah.
And then it just ended up meth and like this my ex-girlfriend just were like the shit, like she was cheating on me all the time and it was just bad.
Dude,
and like
well, I mean, we're not mentioning her, but I don't want to drag her or anything. But like, did she get you into it? Or did you get into it?
She introduced. So when I met her, she she was clean from heroin for however long she was. But like I said, at that time, I was so like naive and ignorant. I didn't know what addiction was or what it did. I never.
What did you do up until that point?
What's up?
What have you done up until that point? Like
of meeting
drug wise, like
cocaine and stuff like that. Like
okay.
I'd done coke and like acid and mushrooms and stuff, but like
consistently or.
Hold on, I'll get there. I'll get there. So like when I met her, she like we were like dating, whatever, blah blah blah, and then she then like one day kind of like broke down to me. She's like, I gotta be honest with you, like, like I've only been like clean from like heroin for like 6 months or whatever, and she was like really worried and freaking out because she was expecting me to be like, you know what, maybe I'm gonna let you do your thing and you haven't been sober. I was just kind of like, okay, because at the time, like I had never been around addiction. I didn't know what addiction actually did to people. And I was like, well, you said you went like she went and got like she went to like a rehab facility, so she got clean. I was like, well, you went to rehab, right? She was like, well, yeah. And I was like, oh, so like you're cured, like. I was like, why? I was
just ignorant to the
ignorant. I was just like, oh, in my head, I was like, oh, well, you went and you got cured. Yeah. You're fine now. I was like, why would I be tripping about your past? Everyone has a past.
Yeah, you don't know how it works.
Yeah, I had no idea. So I was like, you're fine. Like, and I'm pretty sure, I mean, at that point, she was just probably like, fuck, this guy knows nothing about anything. And then she ended up, like, relapsing at some point, and, like, it just was, I didn't really, like, I didn't see the signs. I was just like, why are you sick all the time? And, like, why are you, like...
Did she feel the need to, like, educate you, I guess, in a sense? Like,
let
you know what's up?
No, well, because if she let me know what was up, then she wouldn't have been able to relapse and get away with, like, because if I was like more educated, I for sure would have been like, oh,
not that that's any fault on her. No. Like I just wondered if she told you what was going on or how she felt, like anything.
Well, and so like once she then relapsed or whatever, she was telling me because her thing was heroin and stuff. She was telling me she was only doing it like every once in a while, but like you don't do heroin every once in a while. Like once you start, you can't just stop.
It's your thing.
It's not like, you go through withdrawal to get your withdrawal to go away. You do heroin.
Yeah.
And so like she and me just being ignorant, I didn't know. She's like, I'm only doing it like sometimes, and I was like, oh,
sometimes is enough times.
Well, sometimes is really like I've only been doing it since like 2:00 today, and then you came over here, so I stopped.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Yeah, like, but she then, so she knew that I was like doing coke every like now and then or whatever, and I was like with her or whatever, and like we would like go out to like bars and stuff, and it was at a time when I knew she had relapsed, but at the time I didn't know that she was doing it every day. I thought it was like a every once in a while thing, so I don't know why I was like okay with it. Probably just because like she was hot. And I was young, and I was like, this is, like she was like a stripper at the time and shit. Like, so like, it was,
like, I'm in.
Yeah, pretty much. Fucking, my dick was thinking for myself for sure. And then
the wrong head was thinking.
100%. Yeah, dude. This thing's got me in so much fucking trouble, dude. I hate my fucking cock, dude.
Stupid piece of shit.
Yeah, stupid little fucking cock. God damn it. Literally, it's gotten me in the worst situations. This thing's made me hate myself more than anything. But anyways, I was like looking for cocaine, and then she just was kind of like, she's like, why don't you do like meth? I was like, why the fuck would I do that? And she was just like, well, A, it's cheaper because cocaine is very expensive. She's like, well, it's cheaper and like it lasts like way longer. And I was like, well, I mean, like, and she was like, she's like, dude, she's like, you're already like doing coke every once in a while. I was like, what's the deal with like, what's wrong with doing meth every once in a while? And I just kind of was like, I guess. And like she was right.
Yeah.
She was right because like, dude, yeah, cocaine was like fucking. I'd have to spend like $100 and it'd be gone like a night. Where with meth, I could spend like $40 and it'd be like a week for me. So it was like I was like, oh wow, this does last longer. And like then it just progressed. I was like at first trying to be smart about it, which isn't ever smart, but like I was like only doing it on the weekends because I was like doing my electrical shit. So I was like, when I do this in the day, I can't go to sleep at night and I got to get up early. So I was like only doing it on the weekends, and it was like that. And then it just like. And I was only doing it like with her. Like the only time I'd ever do it is like if she had it or whatever. And I would like go meet up with her and do it and like whatever. And then when it got bad was like one night I remember she just was kind of like, because I would only ever smoke it. I never injected it or anything. She was like one night she just was like, why don't you just take like the pipe home with you? Because I never, for like months, I like refused to. I was like, I don't want to. I only want to do it with you. She was like, well, you're always only hitting me up to do it with me. Like, what if you want? And I was like, okay, I guess. And then it was just game over from there. And then once I realized, I was like, oh, I can just sit in my room all day and just smoke this. And like, watch weird shit on YouTube. Like I was like, oh, this is it for me. Like, this is just what I'm going to do now. And then it was just fucking like that for like years, like literally.
And you don't smoke weed anymore.
And that doesn't have to do with the meth. It just kind of, a switch just kind of flipped in my brain one day. It was just, I just all of a sudden was like, I don't like this anymore.
Do you feel like it's a gateway for you?
No, I feel like it just gives me an anxiety attack. And I'm like, why would I do that to myself?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Like, like I said, the only time I'll ever smoke is I'll take like one rip from a stizzy or bong, whatever it is, before I go to Korean barbecue. That's the only time I ever smoked.
Yeah, you mentioned that. Yeah,
the last 2 times I went to Korean barbecue, one I took a rip out of a bong, and dude, actually,
only time you go to Korean barbecue, you'll get high.
Yeah. Literally, that's the only time that's the only time I'll get high is if Korean barbecue is going to be the next step. And I only need to take, because my tolerance is so low, I'll take like one little rip from a bong or from like a stizzy or whatever, and like I'm fine.
You're good.
Like the most recent time I went to Korean barbecue, I went to Sam's house first. I was like, he was like working. I was like, hey, can I come by and take a rip? I'm gonna go to Korean barbecue. And he was like, okay, sure. Went over to his place, took a rip. I was like, all right, bye. I go over there with like some friends, and like I just was like so dumb and high, and I get up to the front, and the hostess goes, name please, and I just go, nah. And she's like, excuse me? And I'm like, what? And I was like, I want a table. She's like, and then my friend, I was like, I want a table. She's like, I know. And my friend goes,
name?
And my friend goes, and one of my friends is like, you need to give her a name. And I'm like, what's happening? I just
You're like, no.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just immediately was like, no. She literally was like, name please, and I just went, no.
No, thank you, please.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea why. I just was stoned, and like I said, I don't get high. So like I was stoned. It wasn't like I just, name please, nah. I literally went, thank you. And she just was like, what? She just like because she wasn't even looking at me. She was like looking at the paper. She's like, name please, and I said no. And she's like, what the fuck you just say to me right now? Like she was like, what? And then my friend just goes, you don't have a name, bro? And I literally was like, I then realized what was happening, and I just turned around and I just like started walking away. I was like, and I literally was like, can you please do this? I was like, why am I the guy going up and talking to this fucking lady? The guy that doesn't smoke weed, who's high, is the one that just marches up there and fucking makes a fool. And I just literally turn around on her and I just go, can you do it, please?
You're like,
and,
no, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm leaving now.
Yeah, dude, it was the most dude. I was like, fuck. But then I ate a whole bunch of Korean barbecue and it was fine. And
Hell yeah.
Didn't matter, but yeah.
Do you think, do you feel at all like, because like the whole once an addict, always an addict, do you feel like you're still an addict? When it comes to meth, at least?
Yeah, I think I do agree with once an addict, always an addict. 100%. I agree with that. But there's...
At least for you personally, do you feel that way for you?
I don't think it mattered. For me, even if I said I didn't... Even if I said, oh, I don't feel that way for me, I really do believe, like, to my core that is the case. Once an addict, always an addict. But you're either an addict that's currently using or you're an addict that's not. Mm-hmm. Like, you can be a sober addict. That just means you were using at one. Like, I feel like people are like, oh, I'm an addict. That doesn't mean you're currently using. That just means that, like, yeah, you are an addict to something that you could be using or not using it right now. But
do you have an issue with I guess anything really, like anything that like triggers you to maybe like at least kind of spark the initial want to use?
Not really. Cause like luckily, I don't know, but like when I was using, like I said, it was only with like really my ex-girlfriend. Mm-hmm. So she was like the only one I was doing.
But then once you found out that you could do it on your own in your own personal space,
so I would be doing it on my own, but like I was still only really getting it through her. Like, you know, like I never really had a drug dealer. Yeah. Like it was just like it was really her hitting her up, so me hitting her up, so then she could hit up her drug dealer. Yeah. Because like, you know, she like stopped working and shit for I don't know what her deal is now, but like the last like 3 years I was in contact with her, like she wasn't working, so it was all on my dime.
Yeah.
So it was like whenever she needed her fix of heroin or whatever, I just was like, well, we're already going to your drug dealer, so I might as well get drugs too. So it was like I never needed a dealer, but it was like once I cut her out, it was like I really cut out, like there wasn't like a big circle of people that I needed to cut out, which is like a big problem for like a lot of addicts once they do get sober at first or go to rehab.
Yeah.
It's like they need to learn to like, well, I got to cut out fucking Steve and Jerry and fucking all these people. But it was like I had one person that I had to cut out. And then like once I cut her out, and like fortunately I do have a lot of friends and I have family and stuff like that. And like I like, you know, went to them, told them what the fuck was happening. And they're just like, okay, like that's fine. We were just bummed you weren't texting us back. Like, cool. Like now I know that you'll hit me up when that you're not using anymore. Like, sweet. Like, you know, so it was like easy for me. I had a job and everything. So it was very easy for me to just go back to like normal life, I guess. And like I said, it was only one thing I had to really get rid of. And then it just was like.
That's good that like, cause I know a lot of people don't have, like that type of support system. And like you had like people that were just like, okay, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, we knew this was happening, but like,
it's cool.
It's
and I wasn't,
it is what it is,
and I wasn't doing anything fucked up to burn any bridges.
Yeah,
like it's fucking funny and fucked up as it sounds. It's like I was a good drug user. Like I wasn't doing anything malicious to get it. Like I was going to work every fucking day. I was doing my job. Like, you know, like. Sometimes I'd be an idiot at my job for sure because I was just like running on like no sleep sometimes. So like I'd forget, you know, but like
because of meth or
yes, dude, yeah, that's like because like you could sleep for like 2 hours and it's like as long as you know, like I was purposely waking up like 30 to 45 minutes before I really needed to wake up for work so I could just like take some hits of meth before because it was like my morning coffee. Like that's like how I started my day for like 2 years straight probably.
I mean, when it comes to weekends, like. Sometimes that's how I am with weed, but it's more so like it's the weekend. Like why not? Like toke up real quick.
For me, it was like this is what's gonna get me going now. Like this is what I need to like get me myself.
You need this to
get
actually function.
Yeah,
and...
you know. I mean, I could function without it. It was more so I just was then because that's like the only withdrawal from it, unlike opiates and shit, where you feel like you can like die from opiate withdrawal if you're doing it like so much, but like. The only withdrawal from like meth is like you're tired and you're hungry.
Yeah.
And so it's like I could go without it. I just would be tired and hungry.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, that's kind of people are tired and hungry all the fucking time.
all the fucking time.
But it's like it is a whole nother level of tired. And like, it's a whole, like you feel like you're like, oh my, like, you know, like you're just like, I cannot even get out of bed. Like it's just, you're just depleted of everything.
I can't get out of bed. I need my meth.
Yeah, literally. And so that would just kind of get my shit going. But,
damn.
But yeah, man, it was crazy.
How long, so it was like on the shoulders of Atlas, you were doing meth towards the end.
The last like 6-7 months.
6-7 months.
Our last show, I literally smoked meth in the parking lot.
Before the set? Damn, so your set, you were lit. God damn, I'm going to watch that set for sure on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. But at that point, like, it was like, that was like what, it wasn't like, I was like, you know, I was already at a point where I was like using every day. So it was like, I was just kind of normal.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how
it was water to you at that point.
Literally, pretty much.
So you were doing it towards the end of that, and then through the breakup of On the Shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you start? How? Because I recently found too, today actually, a video of. Oh my god! I love that dude. What's his name? The original guy.
Original guy.
Blindwolf.
Minju?
Nope. Vocalist.
Oh, Nathan. Yeah.
Nathan. He was the original vocalist.
Yes.
I just found out today because I saw like a live video, a couple of them actually, live videos of another guy.
Yeah.
Before you.
Yes.
Who was that?
Is this guy Drew that Minju? I don't know exactly how he came about finding him.
He was just like. He filling in on some shows or something.
So it was originally going to be me, like the very very start, before anything was even recorded, right when Minji started sending me little demos of the like EP that's out.
Yeah.
It was gonna be me, but then it just was like I knew it. Like I just was still using, and I was just kind of I just kind of gave Minji whatever excuse I fucking gave him. I was like, I can't. I was like, I don't think I can commit to this, and he was like, all right. And then
were you using at the point?
yes, yeah. But I
do you think that was a part of it? Like
100%
saying no,
100% a part of it.
Yeah.
I don't know what I just was more. I just was like, I don't think I can commit to this. Sorry.
was it because of the drugs, or was it just because like
100% because of the drugs?
yeah, you were like, no, I got better things like to do.
It wasn't that I had better things to do.
Well,
it
no,
just
but
was,
in your mind state, you had better things to do as far as drugs or.
I think though, still in my mind, I knew that it wasn't better things. I just knew that like committing to something else was too much for like my mental capacity.
It would take away from that type of thing.
It just was. It just having. I already was like working a job and like still trying to get a grasp on that. That like, bringing in other things in my life that I got to commit to when you're like using.
Overwhelming.
It's just It's just like I just was like I don't have the mental capacity to do it. And I didn't tell him it was because of the drugs. I just told him I was like I don't think I can commit to this.
It's too much.
Yeah, and he just was kind of like, all right, well, like it is what it is. I can't really change your mind. And I was like, yeah, but I was there for like the whole writing process of it, just kind of like, he sent me demos and shit. And I was like, this is tight, this is cool, like whatever, like sort of giving him like my opinions, like should I do this, and that, whatever. And then he was like, oh, I think I'm gonna get like Nathan, I have Halvaks to do vocals, and I was like, fuck yeah. And then they recorded, they recorded everything, but that was like peak pandemic that they did that. So like,
oh, really?
Nathan, nobody was doing anything.
Yeah.
So like Nathan just had the time to do that because like he wasn't doing shit.
Yeah,
but like
well,
he has a wife and 2 fucking kids.
Yeah.
So then I think I don't know, and I don't want to speak for Nathan or anything. So if you see this, I don't but like it's more so I think that he just kind of then once life started getting bitten, things started going back to normal. He just kind of was like, shit, like maybe I can't commit to this as much as I thought I could.
Yeah, it makes sense because like especially something like the pandemic that hit, like it gave people a chance to kind of
explore that
explore view what they wanted to do or what they could do,
a lot of hobbies and just like figure and I feel like a lot of people got into that during the pandemic because like, well, what can I do to like fill this time? And
then when things get normal again, you realize what was just a pandemic thing and what was actually a reality type thing, and like what you kind of stood with and what.
Well, I think more so it's that
stayed behind.
I think it's more so not like he was like, well, now it's not so much now that the pandemic's over. I don't know what it is right now, but like once things started going back to normal for him, I think he then more so realized like maybe now that things are going back to normal, I don't have as much time as I thought I could to commit to this. Because when they were recording everything, he had time. Like he was able to go to the studio, do all that shit, write lyrics, do whatever.
Yep.
But like then once things started to get back to normal, and Minji was like, we're gonna start playing shows, and it was just kind of when the world kind of started getting back to normal. He then kind of came to this realization of like,
it's like, oh, I can't do that.
Yeah. He just was like, well, fuck, maybe I can't.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he was like, oh, I thought this was just gonna be a pandemic thing. I think he was more so like, well, fuck, now that I have all this on my plate, I can't handle it.
Yeah, like he saw the opportunity to do something with the time he was given.
Yeah.
And did it.
And I'm sure was enjoying it and having fun.
Yeah, but then once more time opened up, it was like, oh, this is what this could be. Yeah. I can't be a part of that.
Yeah.
And that's where you stepped in. And like you stepped in, but like you were also a feature.
So yeah, and what's funny too is I actually played blindwolf. So Nathan never even played a show with them.
Let's pause real quick. I gotta pee really fucking bad.
Okay, that's fine.
You can grab another beer.
I'm gonna pee too.
Pee?
Honestly.
Yeah, we'll restart.